I'm Les from mywinelist.co, and Jamie at the Storm Cellar has tagged me in the Colorado Wine Challenge because she knew I was creating a cellar for the mynewcellar.com project, and it had a lot of Colorado wine in it. So here's a picture of all the wines in my new cellar. Now I have more than one bottle of most of these, so I thought before I tasted one of these, I'd go through all of them, because what's important to me about wine is the experience, and the experience includes the people. So we're going to talk a little bit about the people too. So let's start with Greystone. I've got a port from them. They're the only port house in Colorado that I know of. There's a few other wineries that make port along with other wines. This port's amazing. I'm an Old Navy guy, and port's a sort of a traditional toasting wine in the Navy. Unfortunately, the Gobles are camera shy. I can't find a picture of them anywhere. This is Vinny No Neck. It's legitimately one of my favorite wines on the planet. Paul was nice enough to write the vintage on the bottle for me when I picked it up. It's a Sangiovese from Bonaquisti Wine Company, and there's a picture of Paul and Emily, two of the nicest people you'd ever want to meet. So when the apocalypse is over, I strongly recommend stopping in and trying this and meeting them. So this is the Maison La Belle Vie Syrah, and John Barbier is one of the most interesting cats you'd ever want to meet and talk about food and wine with. Alright, this is the Infinite Monkey Theorem Malbec, and truth be told, I've probably never met a Malbec I didn't like, but this one's really good. And that is my friend Nicki McTague, one of the nicest people in the wine industry that you could ever bump into. So again, when the craziness is over, stop in and say hi. Alright, this is the Carlson Vineyards Laughing Cat Semi-Sweet Gewürztraminer, and admittedly I am not a semi-sweet or even an off-dry kind of guy, but Garrett convinced me that this is the way you want to go when you're eating things that are salty and spicy, and darn if he wasn't right. So that's Garrett and Kaylin, two of the nicest people in the world. Garrett actually let me hang out with him during Crush during the last harvest, so I could improve my wine education. So this is the Syrah from Guy Drew, and I'm pretty sure this is the only wine in my collection where I don't think I have met the people responsible for making it. They're in Cortez, and I don't get down there a lot, but it's on my list to get down there because I want to go visit Sutcliffe also. So if you know Colorado wine, then you know Bookcliff. Won a bunch of awards. I've never had a bad wine from them, and I've probably tried more than half dozen. So this is John and Ula, and they're probably about as close to wine royalty as you're going to find in Colorado. Really well respected, wonderful people, and really worth visiting their place in Boulder or in Palisade. So if you know me, you know I'm an entrepreneur, and entrepreneurship means innovation. So I had to include an alternative package, and this is the Kingman Estates boxed wine, which they call Big Hat Wines. I have not had this one, but I have had another one, and it was fantastic. If you want to find an advocate for Colorado wine, you don't have to look any further than Doug Kingman. Yeah, we've already talked about Paul and Emily, so we'll drop them and talk about this wine. This is the Bonaquisti 2018 Reserve Merlot. I have tasted this pre-apocalypse in their tasting room. It's quite wonderful, but all three bottles are safe in my cellar at this point. So we've got Jamie and Steve from the Storm Cellar, and Jamie's the one who tagged me for this exercise. And this is the 2018 Riesling, again off dry, and I'm normally a dry kind of guy, but as it turns out, I make a lot of spicy and salty foods, so I've only got one bottle of this left. I can't wait till I can get back out to the Western Slope and maybe pick some more up. So there's a bit of a story that goes with this wine. This is the Wild Women Big Girl Barbera, and a couple of years ago when I started down this wine path, I didn't know anything, so I looked up where the wineries in Colorado were. This one wasn't too long of a drive, and so I walked in and sat down at the tasting bar and said, I need a friend. And the nice young lady there told me the whole story, to include about the owners, Ross and Charlene, who have turned out to be just wonderful people to know and have really helped us at My Wine List Co. established the requirements for the platform. So this was my first favorite wine ever, and again, I strongly recommend stopping in and meeting these people and try this wine. So this is Balistreri's Little Feat, and the story behind this is that they actually have kids stomp the grapes. Balistreri makes fantastic wines. This is John and Julie Balistreri, father-daughter pair, who run the place. Have not tried this Little Feat yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I've never had a bad wine from Balistreri. This is Scott and Sherry out at Red Fox. These people let me pick grapes last harvest. They're just wonderful. This is the Long Day Rosé, but they have so many good wines you could create a cellar out of just their stuff. They're the only winery who is inside the MyWineList.co platform pre-beta, helping us work things out. So are there awesome people and therefore wines I need in my cellar that I don't have yet? Yeah, probably too many to name, but I'm going to try to name a few. Brandon and Laura at Mesa Park, obviously I got to have some of their stuff. Linda and Gary at Restoration. Steve and Tara at Deep Roots. Chad and Marla at Bixby's Folly. Larry at the Abbey at Holy Cross. Brian at Shiraz, I think I'm saying that right, it's a type of moose. Allison at Garfield Estates, obviously. I still need one of Kaibab Sparklers from Savage Spectrum. And I need to get down to Cortez and visit with John and Chloe at Sutcliffe. Like I said, probably way more than that I need. In fact, if you're out there and you think I need something in my cellar from you, let me know about it, because I want to get on that. So to get to the challenge part, I'm supposed to taste one of these wines and comment on it. And so I just can't help myself. Book Cliff, I've never had a bad wine from them, and this is Book Cliff. They call it Folly Red Table Wine, and from a price point perspective, you'd be hard pressed to find a wine in Colorado as aggressively priced. And my suspicion is that this is still going to be wonderful, even though it's right there in the value scale. So I'm going to pop into this thing and pour a glass for myself and a glass for Rose, and let you know what we think. So I'm not going to pretend to be an expert. I probably don't even swirl correctly, but this is dry but still quite fruit forward. My initial thought is, wow, this is going to go amazing with pasta. Rose immediately thought of steak. But it definitely comes across as this is going to go fantastic with food kind of wine. Yeah, gratuitous shot of the beasties here. The last part of the challenge is I got to tag 3 people and dare them to get a Colorado wine, taste it, comment on it, and tag 3 more people. So here are the call-outs. Brendan Dawson, Todd Youngblood, industry friends of mine who are not wine industry guys, and Nicki McTague at the Infinite Monkey Theorem. You guys are tagged.